Hello, folks. Welcome to the show. Decided to make a show about the things I know. As a cybersecurity professional, I was here in crypto when things were just starting to happen. And one of the things that people don't think about is, hey, if I'm going to get a lot, I could be in for a windfall. What do I do online? That's what we're going to talk about. So, hello, guys. My name is Potter. Ooh, where's my chain? So, because you can see it so well. Okay, there you go. So, wow, I totally just coughed into the mic. One of the things, and Cole says, good morning, everybody. Good morning, Cole. So, when I got into crypto in 2021, one of the first windfalls was with Drip. And, we had baby runs, like we went from $3 to $11, and we're like, oh my God. And so that was all fun. And you can go out and find a billion videos on how to make money in 5 minutes and stuff like that. But what I want you to know is there's another group in here with you, and they're bad actors, and they're coming for your money. Excuse me. What is going on with me? They're coming after your money, and they have bots, they have programs. I was just watching a video last night about, I watch them because as a cybersecurity person, you just watch that kind of thing. I was watching about people who are in relationships with people for years and don't even realize that they're not real. And it breaks your heart to watch these people's eyes just melt when they have to sit in front of other humans and hear that they've been played for a fool. There are even videos, you can go look it up yourself, where there are people who think that they're in on, something that scams the system that's going to scam them in like Vegas. And it ends up that like maybe 8 people are involved. They get the person to put in all his money. And then when all the money's in, tens of thousands of dollars, they pretend like there's a raid or, they have to get out of it, heard something, or, not even that they took his money, but they make it sound like if you're found out, you're going to be busted along with the rest of the other people. So you just need to pretend like nothing happened. And these people are so happy to just say, you know what? I've got my freedom. I don't care about the $20,000 I lost. So as a cybersecurity professional, working for the Big Four, I've worked for EY, I've worked for Accenture, I've worked for AOL Time Warner, you won't believe what bad guys will do. And to those who try to mechanize capabilities like hardware to thwart their efforts, they're going to be met quite not violently, but their life is going to be disrupted. I know one gentleman who created this appliance that takes a look at spyware that is on sites. You think that when you go to a site, you're taking a look at ads that are appearing because of them. I'll give an example because they weren't a client, but Econolodge. Let's say Econolodge had, their page, but they have little advertisements. And what this guy could do is he could take his appliance in and show, hey, here's what your site actually looks like to users, and here's what you think you're getting. You think you're getting ad revenue, you're not. The bad guys have taken over and they've replaced the ads that you think that you're supposed to be printing with theirs. They also have ads that make it look like it's 100% yours. And, so that's why when you go to your site, you go, oh, great, my ad is playing. But when they click on the link, they go somewhere else that's nefarious. The guy who invented that, he can't even take Ubers anymore because they figured out a way to make his life miserable. He has to, when he checks into hotels, he has to not use his name. It's bad. So my point is that there are a lot of motivated people who are out there to try to take your recent. A lot of people, you'll hear videos about, make sure you use a ledger. Ooh, this is Forex, so give me a sec. Not pinging me, he pinged all of us. A lot of people, I don't know where I was going to go, but that message was, I'm sure, what 99.9% of the people don't care about. So, oh God, I broke my thought. So when it comes to working against those people, you have to understand that you're not just up against a small little entity. There are sites now that you can go where they sell Telegram bots on the dark web. I don't go to the dark web. I just watch the videos of people who go to the dark web because I still want to find out what's happening out there. And they are highly motivated to take your money. So I know what I was going to say, the Ledger wallet. So a lot of people, claim the Ledger wallet, blah, 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 blah. And I used to be against it, but now I can kind of see, the reason that I'm anti-hardware wallet is because if you're in a hurricane, you didn't ever put your passcode anywhere. People say, well, if I put it at someone else's house, my grandma's house, my mom's house, well, if you're in a hurricane district, like, where are you going to find your key? So, well, I'll keep it on me. Okay? Sudden flood. I don't like not having a backup somewhere electronically that's super locked down. Sure, you can obfuscate it, but I think that the Ledger wallets and all not Ledger specifically, but hardware wallets give people a false sense of security. The dark element has incorporated that in as well. And it can be hidden in, hey, I'm going to study your profile. I'm going to see if you respond to on Twitter or any other social media. I'm going to see if you're happy. They're going to see if you're sad. Those guys are skilled in psychology, in business process. People don't understand they have organizations, they have incentive plans, they have paid vacation. I don't know if they have medical, but when I was in the bigger cyber world now 2 years ago, that's what was going on. And through the decades that I was in technology, it was happening as well. Thanks, Cole. More specifically, the mini vids that are out there telling us about Ledger. Right, exactly. Maybe your message came in and it just came through the digits into my mind. So I want people to understand that in the drip community especially, I saw so many stories early before it even had the bull run to 100 plus of people who lost their wallets. And it's not, I actually made up points for this and I didn't even bring them up. All right, so I should probably now go backwards if you're still here. So my experience in this, when I worked for the federal government as an information system security officer for the Department of Commerce, just as a consultant, my first ATO launch, which is authority to operate, was for a very important system, and it was held right across the street from the White House. I was so intimidated. I was like, what am I doing? Maybe this is too big for me. But that's where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from, hey, I'm a YouTuber trying to start a channel. I'm telling you that I stayed in cyber because I wanted to help people. And when you go back to what can happen to people and what I saw happening to our own drip community with people losing their wallets, it was crazy. And that's where, maybe I should learn to do that quicker. But that was a fact in 2021. People were, and they had the very low drip. Well, it's lower now, but they were able to take advantage. They would have been able to take advantage of the bull run, and it just broke your heart to see people who trusted someone, thought, well, lightning struck once. At the time, drip was so new that we couldn't tell about the different platforms out there. We didn't understand them. Rugs were known about, but the criminal element, they hadn't got as good. The other thing that you have to think about is some people who weren't criminals before are going to be criminals now because greed. It just changes people. And people who in drip community that you saw, I love Forex. Forex is my guy. Turn to when it dropped down, below the $4 mark. But people were, and this is 2021, people were like, I hate him, and they lost their money. They're going to go and get somebody else's. There was a bank that helped institute policy for banking and corruption. And the guy who was responsible for one of the biggest money laundering events was one of the most trusted guys in the bank. That's why nobody ever thought about it. And it just got so complicated that he couldn't keep it together, and he went on vacation. And when you go on vacation and you're a bad actor, internally, things happen. So now, when he was arrested, even his fellow employees were like saying, please don't hurt this guy. He's such a good guy. He just made a mistake. So the judge was a little bit dumbfounded by that, according to what I've read. And so he got a deal. And one of the things that he helped the federal government do was to say, what can we do to stop it? And one of the things was make people go on vacation. Make sure that there's no collusion where people are interacting with each other. So you might join a Telegram group. You might think that you're getting to know two different people and they're the same person. And a lot of people fell for that as well. I have a problem with my wallet. And so I don't think that that's necessarily as important anymore. I was going to talk about the hardware wallet fallacy, whereas I already talked about that. And so there are so many ways that criminals play now. They play the longer game. They don't just play the short game. They don't just say, I'm going to get your wallet and get out of here. No, they want to foster a good relationship with you. They also want to find out how many other, suckers are out there who are so hell-bent on being rich that they lose the ability to think straight. Like I brought up at the beginning with those people who date people for 2 years that they never met, and they plan things, and they have these beautiful pictures of themselves, men and women. People, when they're motivated by greed or that quick fix, they'll do a lot of stuff. So malware in your system is important. They'll turn on your camera. They'll find out about your friends. They will take a lot of time to find out, not just to get your wallet. That's a quick thief. That's like a person who mugs you on the street versus somebody who drains your bank account over a few years, building trust. And one of the things that, when I said sucker, smarts don't matter. A very close person to me was an accountant and a lawyer. And when she got into trouble, and I told her I was busy, I couldn't help her, Uh, she went to the internet to find support and completely trusted someone enough to give them everything they needed to take her drip wallet. So she couldn't even hydrate anymore. And when I went to try to convince her that they were criminals, she told me I was misinformed. So what you're going to have during this run is a lot of people who become so smart, I'm so smart because I have a YouTube channel and I invested in something with an architect and, a bunch of developers that hasn't been hacked. And so that makes me smart. Kind of does. I believe that you're very smart to be in the space. But when I went to work as a consultant in the Big Four, I met a lot of other people who were just as smart as me. And so a lot of people have pride and they don't want to admit, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I can tell you what other people have done and what I've seen other people make money. And what I'm saying is if you're in the drip community, you need to understand you got a big target on you. In Telegram and Twitter, people want to get to know you because they're going to want your wallet. And maybe after you have multiple wallets, you'll be like, oh, well, I can afford to lose that one. But the reality is, guys, you got to kind of shake yourself out of it. You've got to be more than secure with the false sense of security that a ledger can give you. You should only trust known resources. So I think if you're in the drip community and you type /admin, it'll show you the list of people who are admins. Always make sure that you're checking that. Don't give away your passive income in drip. It's too important. So I think I've kind of highlighted this a little bit too. Scammers love the vulnerable, right? If you talk about, you just lost somebody, watch it. I'm talking to myself there. And you talk about it, a pretty woman, a man who says that he has, 3 children and his wife was just like you. These are the people who are getting scammed out of their life savings. Maybe they'll come up with some new scheme. This group of people, they're consolidated. It's not just one person. There's an active group of bad guys out there trying to get your money, trying to get the thing that your smartness got you into with drip, right? And so I can talk about, my life as a dev. I can show you how to code. I can do all of that stuff. But this one gets me. And when I started watching those videos about those scams that are happening to people in real time, I don't want people to be a victim. I want people to be knowledgeable. And that's why it says, trust no one. Trust your family. Well, trust your family as long as their actions match their words. You have to be careful with everything that you're doing because this is new. And if you've ever seen Lord of the Rings, when people put on that ring, they change into somebody else. I've been a multimillionaire before, and not twice, but it's different when people know that you have money. They just change. It's not, I don't know if it's their core, or they just go, don't leave without me, or you're not as smart as I am. I heard somebody say that people on this planet, they don't seem to be happy with your joy. They'll root for you during a struggle, but it seems to not be common for people to enjoy your joy. And if you've sat through all of the Forex growth, the drip community growth, we went apart for a little bit, and then Droplet you just go, wait a minute. And now we've got a community of utility that's coming in, and they're investing their money. And it's so important, guys, that you do not let the bad guys take it from you without, some level of a fight. And when it comes to technology, the best way to fight is to be informed. It is so easy to FOMO. It is so easy to go, you know what, this is a good project. But take it from me, whether it's a big company, that's what I was going to talk about here. Corporate arrogance. So I'd work with billion-dollar companies, right? And they'd be like, we got it, until they didn't have it. I've been to 2 audits or assessments before where I found a gaping hole. The rest of it was pristine. I found a gaping hole. I say, well, that's kind of a problem. I think that you can put a compensating control there to kind of control it. Then they get hacked, right? Millions of dollars, and not just millions of dollars that got lost from their shareholders. The people who had that data stolen, they affected them too, you know? So, yeah, and that kind of fits in with, it doesn't matter if you're corporate or if you're one of us, right? You have to yourself protect your own bag. I have, at the beginning, I always say, hey, this isn't financial advice, blah, 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 blah. And this one, I was a certified cybersecurity professional. I've got the pedigree to know what I'm talking about here. And I'll even up it once. One more, as a paranormal investigator, that's right, I've seen lines appear in people's skin, but I won't freak you out. There are evil people who don't want to work as hard as you have in the drip community. They don't want to participate. They just want money. And you have to make sure that you do everything not to trust anybody. And if you trust but verify. That's why Forex saying, I don't know, if anybody's seen stuff, it's Forex. So you really want to, at least for me in the drip community, if I know more than him in a space, then okay, I can listen to myself. But if they're not affiliated with him, or Ray, guys, that's a tough one. And all of these guys, Stunna, all of these people, they've had losses, But those are the guys who got me in, so that's why I'm naming them. So that's kind of it. Let me go back. What my video says, or what our video says. Trust no one when it comes to your drip, your wallet, how much you're making. If you want to tell them you're grown, you can do it yourself. This is only advice. It's your choice. I just don't want to see anybody sad. People were really sad. People were taking care of their family, and now they have to start from zero, and drip was more expensive, so they couldn't get their initial investment back. Those people became more grabby, for more despair, believe more things, teamed up with bad actors, and it's going to be on us to remind them, hey, don't do that. Take your time, go slow. Cool, absolutely excellent advice, Potter. Thank you. You always bring sense to the environment. No hype, no drama, just intelligently presented life lessons. Yeah, and that's what they are, guys. They're life lessons, because I got drugged, and I'm a cybersecurity person. I work for the big, whatever. There are times where you can't be on your game the whole time. And when you are fatigued, when you're like, oh, I got to click on that button because I'm going to get left out. Stop. If you're in the drip community, you're pretty good as it is. There's nothing that can't wait, in my opinion, for you to research it. Not just do your research, perform due diligence. Due diligence is taking that extra step, and if you see a bad actor that you know is a bad actor, stay away from him. I tell Coach all the time, I'm like, Coach, you gotta stay away from that Safu guy. Whether it's my paranormal life or my cybersecurity life, when I would walk into a meeting with somebody I'd have to interview, I just had the instinct. I was like, that person is hiding something, right? And I remember one event, I couldn't be super sure, but I was sure enough. And somebody said, the lead security person is annoyed because you don't want to talk to them. And my response was, because if I do, I'm probably going to recommend that they be fired. I didn't talk to that person after that. So anyway, I love you guys very much. Trip community is the best. DDD will be back tomorrow to talk about more DDD stuff than cybersecurity awareness. But if there's more to talk about, if I feel that this is a drum I need to beat louder, I apologize for the repeat. If you hear cybersecurity, probably don't watch it again because I'm going to say the same stuff. Thanks, guys. You rock. And DDD, game on.